All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another live stream bringing you the latest in all of Chelsea news that is popping off. Absolutely popping off. So much to talk about. So much to talk about on a regular basis, man. Every single day, there is so much to talk about. It is it is an absolute changing environment on a regular basis as well. Mystery manager. Everyone's saying that the mystery manager is Ruben Amorim. Valan, big up to you. Valentine means you still got the energy after all you can eat Chelsea. Yeah, nah, man. Of course. I've got the energy. As I said, I want to keep on top of all the news that's happening, and I want to make sure that I'm always there, talking to you guys, discussing with you guys, and keeping you guys updated with the latest, and keeping myself updated as well. So, nah, man, that was a wild episode. Of course, that was a wild episode. All you can eat Chelsea. But yeah, not Xabi Alonso, Xavi, ladies and gentlemen, is fired. Xavi is fired from Barcelona. A lot of people are saying, Miz, would you take Xavi at this point? Yeah, of course I would. But you know what the catch is? I don't think Xavi would be a candidate for Chelsea Football Club because he's a tad bit outspoken. Xavi's not going to be a puppet. Xavi couldn't last at Barcelona. What makes you think he's going to be able to last at Chelsea? Xavi says he talks his mind. And at Chelsea Football Club, we can't have any manager that talk their mind. It is detrimental. We need to understand this. This is the environment that we work in. We cannot have a particular manager that is talking his mind too much in the public arena. We cannot have that. So look, Xavi for me, yeah, top choice. It would be a very, very good choice. Look at what Xavi's done. He's worked with a lot of young players. He's developed a lot of young players at Barcelona. He's won the La Liga. I believe he won the Super Cup over there, the Spanish Super Cup as well. So with the constraints that team has, he's done wonders. He really has. I actually enjoy the way Xavi plays. And I always knew he was going to be somewhat of a success in Barcelona. Even when he left, I believe he left Saudi Arabia, was it Qatar? Might have been Qatar. He left Qatar, and then I knew from that moment that he's the way he understands the game, and the way he's what a midfield genius he was. I had every belief that he was going to do well at Barcelona, and he has. So yeah, it's not even a question. Would I want him at Chelsea Football Club? Of course I would. I think he would be a fantastic manager with the caliber of players that we have, but it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So I'm not even going to bother talking about Xavi because it's as simple as that. Big up to you, Chelsea Empire. For me, it's either Amorim or De Zerbi or Xavi. Dream scenario to bring back the fan base would be Tuchel. There was leaks that came out that it wasn't bad with Tuchel. Who knows? Yeah, look, it would be nice. It would be nice if our own, when I say owners, I don't even think Todd Bowley had any problems with Thomas Tuchel. It was actually Iqbali. Iqbali is the one that controls everything. Everyone seems to be having problem with Iqbali. Todd Bowley is, honestly, from here on in, we need to understand that Todd Bowley is actually he's a non-entity. He's not someone to be counted for. He's got a very minor stake at Chelsea Football Club, and now he literally has zero power. He doesn't run the show. Todd Bowley, a couple of weeks ago, it kind of seemed like that he was ready to be patient with Pochettino, and 2 weeks later, Pochettino is sacked because I think at the end of the day, Iqbali calls the shot. So yeah, I'm not even going to say that Thomas Tuchel, can he return back to Chelsea Football Club? I don't think so, because his beef was with Iqbali, and as long as Iqbali's calling the shots, there is no way There is no way Thomas Tuchel's coming back. There is no way. It would be nice, but there is no way Thomas Tuchel is coming back. Valan, big up to you, my man. I think it's a smoke screen for Roberto De Zerbi, Miz. Um, look, I'll be surprised. Another manager that I have no issues with. Another manager that I would actually entertain at Chelsea Football Club. I think he's got a very, very nice philosophy. He's got a good ideology. There's a lot of young up and coming managers that actually try and replicate what Roberto De Zerbi is doing. He's an intense manager. We've seen the clips from Rio Ferdinand's channel where Boateng, Kevin Prince Boateng, was speaking so highly. That particular video, I'm pretty sure you guys have all seen on social media. So he was speaking so highly about Roberto De Zerbi when he was in Sassuolo. So look, De Zerbi once again would be a fantastic choice. But De Zerbi is another one of those ones that is outspoken. We have to understand these owners, they're not really interested about the result. That's my personal belief. You could think otherwise. Me personally, I don't think result is their number one priority. It may be number two. I'm not saying just because it's not number one that it's not even a priority. No. It may be number two. Number one priority for these owners, in my personal opinion, is that the manager must obey the rules and regulations of these owners that they set out, and they must obey absolutely everything that our owners are going to do. So if you can't do that, you cannot be a Chelsea manager. I think that's number one criteria. And for me, Roberto De Zerbi, I think recently he was complaining about Brighton, that Brighton have too many young players. He wants a little bit more experience. So how's that going to be possible for him to come to Chelsea Football Club and work with so many young players and more young players to come in the future? Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just about young players now. There are more young players still to come in the future. More 18-year-olds lined up to come and start. They've been promised that they will start at Chelsea Football Club. So that's a little bit about Roberto De Zerbi. Now, I want to first talk about Ruben Amorim, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get your thoughts on this. Ruben Amorim apparently could be the manager that's the mystery manager. There's a particular mystery manager that's floating around, and apparently it could be Ruben Amorim. Now, I need to know how you guys all feel about Ruben Amorim. It is an interesting situation. Now, Ruben Amorim, I know Chelsea have been scouting Ruben Amorim for a while. Even last summer, when there was the managerial position up for grabs, Ruben Amorim was one of the candidates as well. I'm pretty sure they did look at him, and they've been monitoring him for a little while. What I don't understand is, from Ruben Amorim's point of view, firstly, is it actually a good fit? Before we even talk about from a stylistic point of view, let's just talk about from a work environment point of view. I think Ruben Amorim would actually fit in Chelsea Football Club like a glove, because Sporting are a selling club. So Ruben Amorim has worked under an environment that he probably doesn't have too much say what happens in the transfer market, because at the end of the day, Sporting are a selling club. So Ruben Amorim, whether he likes it or not, his big superstars will be let go of and will be sold. So, and who he brings in, I'm pretty sure Ruben Amorim is not too fussed. Just do your best scouting possible. Bring in someone who fits my ideology, and we'll move on with it. So, from that perspective, because the way I look at it, Chelsea owners, they don't really want, and the board, right? The board and the owners, they don't really necessarily want the manager to be too involved in transfer business. They just want the coach to be simply training the players and developing the players. Who comes in, who goes out, la. You have no comments on that. We decide that as board members. Whatever you get dished out, you're just going to have to make do with it. And I think from that perspective, Ruben Amorim fits, because he comes from that similar environment in Sporting. So I think that from that perspective, it actually makes sense. Now, in terms of, I think he might have also got a pretty big release clause as well. So correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat. I'm pretty certain He has a bit of a release clause. Now, I'm just a little bit confused as to why couldn't he land the Liverpool and West Ham jobs? Can someone let me know? Recently, we all know after Xabi Alonso, and Xabi Alonso's situation was 13 million. There you go, 12.8 million, 13 million. That's a hefty sum. That's a hefty sum to release Ruben Amorim. So and then on top of that, you have his contract and whatnot, his wages. So 13 million, which is quite a bit. Now, I find it a bit confusing. Liverpool knew very quickly that Xabi Alonso wasn't going to leave, so that chapter closed up very quickly. Then they focused on Ruben Amorim. Why wasn't Ruben Amorim able to land the Liverpool job? Can someone let me know? Why couldn't Ruben Amorim land the Liverpool job, or what was it? Did Liverpool like him and he didn't like Liverpool, or Liverpool didn't like him and he just didn't get the job? I need to understand this, and then we can talk about the West Ham one, because he apparently did a interview with West Ham as well, and it just never materialized. Now that might be a case where Ruben Amorim actually rejected them, but why is he going to an interview? Why is he going to an interview to West Ham? Why are you even interested with West Ham? Liverpool FC didn't want him, and he didn't want to go to West Ham. He only went for an interview to make Liverpool FC scared. Is that how we're looking at it? Liverpool FC didn't want him. Why didn't Liverpool FC want him? I thought he was heavily linked with Liverpool FC. Why didn't they want him? Shubra saying maybe back three didn't suit. Okay, fair enough. Liverpool didn't want to pay the release clause. Okay. And the other thing is, how can he be the mystery man when everyone knows about him? How is someone a mystery when every man and dog out there knows that that's the mystery guy? And on top of that, a lot of people are saying that, they want to keep him as a mystery. They want to keep him as a secret because they've got a cup final coming up against Porto during the weekend. They don't want the players to know about this. I'm pretty sure the players will know about it now on social media. You think the players are not looking what's happening on social media? You think they're not aware that something's happening? So I don't know. Look, all I'm going to say about Ruben Amorim, I've only watched him a handful of times. And I'll tell you when I've watched him. I've actually watched him during Europa League, especially against Atalanta. And I watched a couple of other matches as well, to be honest, of Ruben Amorim. I have to say, I've not been completely impressed by the way he plays. I was actually impressed by Gyökeres. I think that is a top quality striker right there. Gyökeres is someone I definitely got impressed with. Amorim, honestly, it's not something that moved me. He's got a decent structure, of course. He's got a good brand of football to a certain degree, of course. But yeah, as Ashraf said, like the match that I watched, Atalanta versus Sporting, Gasperini absolutely cooked him. And I know Gasperini went on and cooked everyone else, but I watched a couple of other matches as well in Europa League for Sporting, and it didn't really excite me. I think I watched also one Portuguese game as well of Sporting, and once again, it didn't really impress me so much. I know overall he's achieved quite a bit at Sporting. He's a winner. There's no doubt about that. He's a winner. If you look at his CV, everyone refers to the CV. Yeah, his CV looks good. No doubts about that. But I do feel from watching him, once again, I think Enzo Fernandez is someone I'm not really sure whether he can just fit into his midfield unless he makes adjustments, and he has to, because at the end of the day, Enzo Fernandez is a particular player we've spent a lot of money in. If you can't seem to integrate him to a style of football, that's going to be detrimental to Ruben Amorim. I feel like the midfield that I saw with Sporting, it's not like he's looking for really, really good technical ball playing midfielder type. I think he's looking for more of a destroyer type of a midfielder. So yeah, there's question marks. There's question marks. But at least with Ruben Amorim, you know that he's got experience at top level. He's been in Champions League. He's been in Europa League, and obviously he's done really well in the Portuguese league. Chelsea Empire. This is a comment coming from Chelsea Empire. It's the system that Liverpool want to continue. Arne Slot has almost an identical system to Klopp. There you go. There you go. Maybe that's the reason for Arne Slot. Shuba, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Appreciate that. His football doesn't suit us, but he's a winner. Exactly. That's what I got out of watching Ruben Amorim. That I'm not really sure whether he suits the squad completely. I think he's gonna have some issues. He will definitely have some issues. And is he gonna be given time? Are the owners gonna give time to the new manager? Can we as fan base accept yet another experimental season next season? Can we accept that? Because I feel some of these managers that we're linked with, it is a bit unfair to ask them to reach the levels that we want our club to reach, because these managers that we're linked with, besides Amorim, I think Amorim obviously has a lot more experience at the top level, but the short list, yeah, I'm it'll be unfair to put that level of expectation on them. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, how would you guys feel about Ruben Amorim? If Ruben Amorim came to Chelsea Football Club as a manager, how would you guys feel? I think, as I said, from a personality and characteristic point of view, would he match Chelsea's owners? I think he would. I think he is a yes man. I think he works at a particular environment where he has to deal with whoever leaves and whoever goes, and that is a similar sort of model that we're trying to create at Chelsea Football Club. I fully do believe down the track we will become someone like a Borussia Dortmund type of a team under this new ownership, like a selling type of a club who are not really going to do much damage at the highest level. We will be there, hopefully making fourth and making into Champions League, and probably going into second round and quarterfinals of the Champions League. And that's probably our limitation. And then after that, really, it's just about flipping the players on a consistent basis. Flip the players. As soon as they get developed into a superstar, let's sell them while the market is high, and we move them on. And that's why we have a conveyor belt of all these kids lined up. Do you know what I mean? So don't expect, honestly speaking, do not expect Cole Palmer to be at Chelsea Football Club if we're not a serious club competing for trophies. He will leave. Maybe not next season, but he will eventually leave. If it's not next season, it may just be the season after. Ashraf, Roberto De Zerbi quotes about Maresca Miz. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, it could be a possibility that Maresca gets the job. And that's the next news. That's the next news. All right, let's have a look at this particular news. Roberto De Zerbi quotes about Maresca. So this is the latest. Let me have a look if there is actually anything more latest in PYS's page. Manager and assistant, Chelsea would be very, very cool and work extremely well, in my opinion. Well, there you go. Xavi and Fabregas. This is what PYS wants. Just allow Fabregas to do his thing in Como, man. Just allow him to do his thing. A whole heap of Xavi news, obviously. Chelsea Chiefs want to hire upwardly mobile coach and turn them into a boss of world renown. I don't even know what that means. What is that? Nick Purewell. What does that even mean? Chelsea Chiefs want to hire an upwardly mobile coach. Upwardly mobile. Like, you mean an up-and-coming progressive coach? Is that what that means? Some of the wordings is quite mad. And turn them into a boss of world renown. Look at what the is incredible. It's incredible. Like, look at what our mission statement is. Our mission statement is to turn a manager into a world-renowned one. Brother, your mission statement should be to compete and win trophies. That's what your mission statement should be. Your mission statement shouldn't be about turning a manager into a world-renowned one. Like, it's just strange. It's just strange. Dominic is saying, exactly, Miz, that's my worry now. Palmer will demand to leave. Of course he will. Of course he will. He's not gonna he's not gonna stick around with this mediocrity for too long. And I'm pretty sure he's quite hurt of the fact that Pochettino was sacked. Chelsea are set to interview Enzo Maresca for the Chelsea job. Chelsea are set to interview Enzo Maresca for the Chelsea job. Well, of course, Nick. Chelsea are set to interview Enzo Maresca for the Chelsea job. So, well, Chelsea are gonna interview Enzo Maresca for the Norwich job or something, or for the Nottingham Forest job. Of course, Chelsea. I love the way Nick Pilwell has done that. Chelsea still hold Ruben Amorim in the highest esteem, but prizing him away could be difficult. So he talks about Ruben Amorim. Prizing him away could be difficult. Look, at the end of the day, money talks. Will Chelsea spend that level of money to bring in Ruben Amorim? Perhaps they will. Can they work with someone like Ruben Amorim? I think they can. Can they work with someone like Enzo Maresca? A lot of people are saying Enzo Maresca is exactly the type of manager that, in terms of football, like footballing side of things, that's exactly the kind of manager our owners are looking for, our boards looking for. He's got abundance of control. He's got his focus is on making sure that you control the ball predominantly. Focuses on the build-up, focuses on what you do in midfield. It's far more methodical. It's not about rock and roll. It's not about the basketball situation. It's far more methodical, and our board apparently is looking for that type of a manager. Look, I mean, what do I even say? The fact that we have this check, the short list, and we're going to be interviewing all of these people, it doesn't sit well with me. Honestly, it doesn't sit well with me, because it makes me think we're confused. We should know who we want, and we should just go after that particular person. It's just insanity. Shubra is saying, Alex Goldberg said Ruben Amorim has been the guy for this ownership since they sacked TT. If he's been the guy for these owners since they sacked TT, why isn't he a Chelsea manager yet? Why did we go in the merry-go-round by selecting Poch? If he's so locked on, why isn't this guy already a Chelsea manager? Why are we interviewing Maresca? For what? Wasting whose time? Why are we wasting Maresca's time, and why are we wasting our time? If this guy's so locked in, why did we get Frank Lampard as a stopgap? Why didn't we just get Ruben Amorim? So look, if he's so much that we wanted, he would have been a Chelsea manager by now. It's simple as that. We'll see. Look, my favorite is still Kieran McKenna. Kieran Trippier is still my favorite. He's waiting. Kieran Trippier is waiting on Chelsea. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. For me, I think it's going to be Kieran Trippier. Kevin K. Miz, it makes me so angry. This will be the third season under these owners, and we are starting from zero once again. A shot into the unknown once again. 2 seasons wasted, and we are starting all over again. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's an absolute shame. And apparently, this is the project. This is the project that they've been promoting. Shambolic project so far, man. Just because we finished 6th this season, there's nothing to be excited about. 6th is nothing to be proud about and jump up and down about. It's still been a very, very mediocre season, which got rectified right at the end, mind you. Most parts of the season has been rubbish. We've been lingering around 9th, 10th, 11th. And last season, we know what happened last season. We finished 12th. So 2 seasons of patheticness. And now we're moving into a third season where us fans, we are expecting top 4. We are expecting top 4, but is it realistic? Is it actually realistic to expect top 4 with the caliber of managers that are linked with us? No, it's not. It's simply not realistic to have that level of expectation, which is once again failure on the owners, absolute failure on the owners. People, forget about Roberto De Zerbi. It's never happening. He got problems with Brighton. Use your mind, please. To not even consider Marcus Silva is a sign your club is shit. No, Marco Silva is all right, but it's not like he's changing the world. Do you know what I mean? 6th isn't anything to be proud of, but the ownership has been really bad. So forgive us for celebrating 6th. We should have a Carabao Cup, but those expensive signings got exposed by Liverpool under 21. Yeah. BJB. It's Kieran McKenna, not Trippier, bro. I'll say what I want to say, mate. I'll say what I want to say. Valan V is commenting. Valan V. It's my man Valan. Forget about Amorim. His style doesn't suit Chelsea. The owners want possession and 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. Yeah, look. I'm not really sure whether Amorim is big on just possession-based football. I don't think that's his main priority. And once again, our owners, they say they want something, but they don't really target the right managers that actually can deliver them what they're setting themselves out for, which tells you they don't know football. They don't understand football. Faisal, honestly, if it's choice between McKenna, Maresca, I'll take McKenna. Ipswich only finished 1 point behind Leicester, who had much stronger team. Back-to-back promotions is also impressive feat. Look, yeah, I mean, if those are the options, if those if that's the 2 managers that we've been given, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe just go for McKenna, but we can't be demanding a lot. We can't just ask for McKenna to be top 4 next season. The man has never managed in the Premier League. The man has never managed in the Premier League. I think we should be happy if he can at least come 6th somehow. To be honest, even if he finishes 7th, 8th, how can we be upset? He's never managed a single game in the Premier League. Anything is probably an improvement as long as don't get us relegated and probably don't have us beyond 10th. But to ask McKenna to make it into top 4, I think that's a bit too much. Ahmed, thank you so much for the super chat. If all the candidates turn down the offer, then what? Then they'll keep going. They'll go to League One. They'll go League One. They'll go as far low as possible to find that yes man, someone who is completely aligned with their vision. Alex, have you seen the news about Mourinho becoming the new favorite as of recently? What? Yeah, look, I don't get it. Apparently, the odds have diminished. He's now one of the favorites. I don't understand where that's coming from. I don't know whether few people got some internal information. Look, how's Mourinho going to come back? I would love it. I think it would be fantastic. Someone who understands the club, who'd bring some discipline. All the players will be, there's no hanky-panky whatsoever. But he's so outspoken. Mourinho is the ultimate outspoken manager. It's never going to happen. He's a hindrance to the ownership. Lynn, getting a top coach is not a guarantee anymore in football. Remember, Ancelotti came to Everton, and we all know what happened there. Let's roll the dice, Miz. Well, we are going to roll the dice. Don't you worry. We are definitely going to roll the dice. Maresca or Roberto De Zerbi are the only coaches who I want. I understand people doubts, but I think a little bit of research would help fans get a bit more comfortable with the candidates. Well, look, I've not done enough research on Maresca, but I can say that Roberto De Zerbi is someone I can fully back. Definitely, I can fully back. I think he's worth it, and even Xavi. These are two managers that I've watched on a regular basis, and I can definitely say that, yeah, I can back them. I can definitely back them. Will the owners get that type of a manager? You know, the shortlist would look better if these type of managers were involved. Valen, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. I truly enjoyed your energy on All You Can Eat Chelsea, Miz. However, I felt the panel was all one-sided. Would have been better if Lewis joined for that episode. Look, I mean, for me, it doesn't matter who joins the panel. It really doesn't matter. I'm quite locked on as to how I feel about the situation. For me, it's the owners are the ones that are setting the standards here. It's got nothing to do with the managers or the players. I mean, we can come to them. Obviously, there's deficiencies in the players as well. But who are getting these players in? The owners and the board. Who hired the board? The owners. Who hired Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart? Igbali. I'm not even going to say owners. I'm actually going to start saying Igbali, because Todd Bowley actually has nothing to do with it. So Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, these are mediocre type of sporting directors. I know they got few recruitments right, but I think that has to do a lot with Joe Shields, by the way. Yeah, both these sporting directors, the mistake that they made with Poch, I can't believe how easily people are just able to, slide all of that under the carpet. Right? There needs to be some level of accountability. But you know why there isn't any accountability? Because these owners, they know these sporting directors, they're the ultimate yes man. They don't say anything against the project, or they don't even say anything against the owners. So that's why, regardless of the results, this is why I keep harping on about the fact that it's not even about the results. Pochettino, for argument's sake, could have kept his job if he was in line with the owners. He wasn't in line. He wasn't in line. He started thinking that he needs to save his reputation as well. He needs to tell the truth. And the truth is that there's too many young players in the team, and we are expecting the world from them. We're expecting the world from them. It's just not going to happen, man. It's just not going to happen. The Super Monty, big up to you, my man. Valen is talking about adding balance to the conversation. No, I get that. What I'm trying to say is that it wouldn't have mattered to me. It wouldn't have mattered. It doesn't matter. I know how I'm thinking, and I'm pretty locked on how I'm thinking. I'm not really going to change my mind, because I've fully clicked it. It's definitely the owners. The owners are the biggest issues at the moment. They're driving everything. If the owners, and I don't get it, I don't understand why they have chosen this path. Whole heap of young players, and now young manager as well. And I have no, qualms about young managers that have experience at the highest level. But we're talking about absolute young novice managers who's not even, in the same level of a level below. Do you know what I mean? Not like they're in the La Liga top flight. They're in Ligue 1. They're in Portuguese top flight. Like, we're talking about a level below in the championship. And I'm not disrespecting the championship. I'm saying the golf in quality is it is there from the Championship to the Premier League. So it's quite mad. It's quite mad. Daniel G, the knock-on effect of this manager circus is a lot of our better players will eventually want to leave. Enzo, Caicedo, Palma won't stay if another year we have no Champions League and a championship level manager. Of course. That will be third season under the new ownership of not seeing Champions League football or not finishing in Champions League spots. The players will lose faith. Of course they will. Of course they will. How long can they just stick around? I'm pretty sure a lot of the players are losing faith right now as we speak. For some of those players, look at the amount of managers they've seen on a regular basis. For some of those players, they've seen so many managers already. How can you actually find stability? How can you find stability? So if they're bringing in someone like, and this is what I want the owners to do, and the board as well. If you're going to bring in someone like Maresca or McKenna, you can't actually hold the manager accountable, because you're bringing these type of managers in so that you can run the show completely, and the manager is only there for training sessions and making sure they develop the players, and the rest you're running it. You're pretty much running, you're dictating who's going to be in the squad, you're dictating who's going to leave the squad, you're pretty much dictating who needs to start and who doesn't, because ultimately you're the one who's bringing in all of these players. So you want to see your players play and develop. So we can't next season, if we end up getting Maresca or if we end up getting Maresca or we end up getting McKenna, and they don't deliver top 4 for us, we can't sack them. How can we sack them? We can't sack them. They're not the ones that are making all of the decisions at Chelsea Football Club. They're just there. They're truly a puppet. So next season, if we fail, the board needs to be accountable. But it'll never be that. It will never be the board. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat again. The next manager is guaranteed 2 years minimum because of the World Cup, Club World Cup next season. No way they sack someone just before it starts. Yeah, look, my expectations for next season is has diminished. I was thinking that we must get top 4, but obviously with all the situations that have taken, all the events that have happened recently, and the managers that we are linked with, it's not even managers that are better than Pochettino or has experience at this highest level. It's managers that are a step below, and are expecting them to provide us with a miracle. Come on, I think that's a bit too much. Ganswood Miz, you will be shocked at McKenna's tactical knowledge. What happens if he does a madness and moves mad at our club? What happens? It's great. What happens? It's fantastic. That's what happens. And that's exactly what the owners are looking for. A Xabi Alonso type of a fairy tale. All the fans, including myself, will be very happy. But to sit here and just have this blind faith that McKenna is going to do well. I could have had blind faith if I saw that our board has a good track record of delivering success. Then I could have been like, do you know what? I will back the board. But how can I have blind faith when this same ownership and the board have made multiple mistakes? In fact, I don't think they've made one right managerial decision. Would you agree? Let me know, live chat. Do you think the current ownership and the board, they've made any managerial selections, like any right managerial decisions? Let me know. Let me know in the live chat. Do you think they made any right decisions yet? And if the answer is no, how can I sit here and say, oh, yeah, the next one will be the right one? How can I sit here and say that? That would be the definition of delusional. That would literally be the definition of delusional. Expecting something when the data says that you've not been able to deliver. So I can't just sit here and just pretend it's all going to work out. If it does work out, then fantastic. You've proven us wrong. You've proven us wrong. Then great. I'm not gonna be, upset that you've proven us wrong. I want you to prove us wrong. I want you to prove us wrong. I challenge you. I challenge you to prove us wrong. That's the thing with these young managers. Their scale of success is so extreme at both ends. They can either be absolutely complete flops or be the next big manager, like how the owners want. Yeah, look, it's a huge gamble. Huge gamble. Shogun, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Must be able to go head to head with Pep and Arteta. Todd Defo got issues with Stan Kroenke, always going after Arsenal targets, and now coaching process too. Well, look, if you wanna also replicate the coaching process, you have to be patient. Then you have to really follow the Arsenal way. You have to just stick to a manager for a long period. Honestly, I reckon I reckon the ownership, if they had it their way, because I'm pretty sure they're a bit scared, right? If the ownership had it their way, I'm pretty sure they'd call back Graham Potter, I'm pretty certain they would call back Graham Potter, because Graham Potter is the ultimate yes man. Graham Potter never complained. Graham Potter didn't say one bad thing about the players or about the club or about the owners. He collaborated. They would love to get Graham Potter back. And you know what the funny thing is? Graham Potter, he already has the 5-year contract. It's only been 2 years that's been chalked off now. So I'm pretty sure we're still paying him, or maybe we might have paid him off in one go. But in essence, he still has that 5-year contract, right? He still has that 5-year contract. So if they had it their way, I'm pretty sure they would have brought him back. I'm pretty sure they would have brought him back. I think Graham Potter is the most ideal manager for this ownership. The most ideal manager. I'm pretty certain the ownership regrets sacking Potter. I'm pretty sure they do. Because now they're looking back and thinking, why did we budge? Why did we listen to the fans? Why did we buckle and listen to the fans? They don't listen to us for any other things. People say, oh, but they have to listen to us. If the results are going south, they must listen to us. We will create the pressure. Well, where's the pressure now? Where's the pressure now when they're selecting a new manager? Why isn't the pressure there now? Why is the pressure only there when things go south? Well, things are going south right now. Why isn't the pressure there? So don't tell me, look, these owners, they don't care what we think. These owners do not care what we think, because if they actually cared, the shortlist wouldn't be the shortlist that we have right now. Do you understand? The shortlist wouldn't be the shortlist that we have right now. Simple as that. Milo K, big up to you, my man. I said to relax when these news were all popping left, right. They were doing it for clicks. That's what these journos do. Sometimes we overreact and just wait and see. No, there's no overreaction. The truth of the matter is, this is what people need to understand. I see this type of commentary all the time. And as a fan base, we need to think what happened last summer. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't journalists that are using this situation to get clicks. Of course they are. Of course. Any news on Chelsea, you're going to get clicks. Of course. But what I'm saying is there is a certain level of truth behind. Where there is smoke, there is some form of fire. Where there is smoke, there is some form of fire. There is certain level of truth, because we did this same merry-go-round with the managers last summer as well. We had an interview with Nagelsmann. We had an interview with Enrique. We had extensive interviews with Pochettino. Look who was in our short list. Vincent Kompany. Who was the mystery man before? Postecoglou. So right now, what's happening, it's not based on nothing. It's based on precedence. It's based on precedence. People say, "Oh, but we don't know what really happened between the owners and the manager." And now we do know. We would have some level of inkling. We would have some level of inkling. Similar thing happened to Thomas Tuchel. Non-footballing reasons, he got sacked. Non-footballing reasons, Pochettino parted ways. So there are some level of truth. There are some level of truth, 100%. Milo, okay, Miz, my standard for the new coach is top 4. But I know how these journos are. They have turned us into the new United, because these club, because this club is, because the club is loose with their tongue. Yeah, fair enough. Ganswood, Miz, I work like you. You can't speak against your boss or company without consequence. Everyone knows this. Now, okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for commenting this, Ganswood, because this is now going to create another discussion point. Why do people have to take it speaking against your boss? Like, why does it have to be that extreme? Let me tell you how it works. Like, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys that are in the corporate world, you've been to meetings. I've been to meetings with my manager and my manager's manager and the CEO of the company. If I've got certain concerns about a certain part of the business, I have every right to voice that concern. Now, if you think by voicing my concern is talking against the company, you're, wow, I shouldn't even be in that company. If my company cannot foster an environment where everyone can be open and honest, then I'm sorry, you'll never grow. You will never grow as an organization. Especially these owners who don't know anything about the game. I could understand if Iqbali is like the Don of European football. I could understand if Iqbali knew everything about European football. He's so experienced, got plethora of championships, got plethora of titles, everything. I could understand if he was that caliber. Then I'd be like, you know what? I might keep my mouth shut, because this brother, this Donny, he knows it all. In our case, we have a particular owner who knows 0% about the game, and he's trying to dictate others. That's insane. You have zero knowledge about the game, and you are the one who is dictating people that actually know about the game. That is unbelievable level of arrogance. Unbelievable level of arrogance. You should humble yourself. Honestly, if I was in Iqbali's position, and I don't know anything about the game, I don't know anything about European football, I'd actually keep my mouth shut and just watch what's going on for at least a season or maybe even 2 seasons. I'd just watch. I'd be like, do you know what? Let me sit back. Let me watch. Here's what I kind of want. Here are your minimum objectives. Let me watch. You guys do your thing. These are my minimum objectives. Let me learn. Let me learn what's going on. Iqbal is not there. He's not there to learn. He's not there to learn. Iqbal is going around there. Apparently, there's some rumors, and this one, once again, it may be true because our owners are stupid, right? We've seen what Todd Bowley said before, and I'm pretty certain Iqbal is in the same mold. Apparently, Iqbal went to the meeting with Poch and the board members. Iqbal was showing big chances missed. He was showing the data on missed chances, big chances missed to Pochettino and was having a go at Pochettino. You're taking the data of big chances missed to show it to Poch and using that against him. What's Poch meant to do? Score the goals himself? These owners are so thick in the head that Poch is there to create the big chances. Poch is there to create the big chances. To finish the big chances, that's on players that you bought. That's on players that you bought. That's not on me. So please, like these owners, the biggest problem that they're creating is they're actually doing too much. They're actually talking too much. And this whole ideology, speak against your boss or your company, why does it have to be so extreme? One can't even voice their opinion anymore. So the new manager. So let me ask you this, Ganswood, and to the live chat. So whoever the new manager is, they're not allowed to present their view. They're not allowed to present their view. They're just meant to just sit there and do nothing. Just be a little pumpkin. They're a good little pumpkin, and that's it. It just can't. It can't work that way. I'm sorry. It can't work that way. Every manager will come in with their ideology, with their way of operating the squad, and how can you actually tell the manager, no, you can't do that? Well, why'd you hire me then? Why'd you hire me? Haj, Cole Palmer does well equals our genius scouting. Mudrik does bad equals Poch rubbish coaching. This is how our owners think. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And it's crazy how a lot of people don't clock this. You know what really bothers me the most, ladies and gentlemen? It's how so many people are so naive to all of this. Like they don't seem to think deep about it. Like I'm baffled. I'm actually baffled. I'm baffled how people are so, you know, rookie. Like the level of their understanding is a rookie level. Ashraf is saying, shut your mouth and know your role. This is the rule at Chelsea FC right now. Absolutely. I've said it. I've said it plenty of times. The rule is shut your mouth and know your role. Texas Blue, thank you so much for the super chat. But Miz, you're not being balanced and only saying the obvious. Let's look at the other side of the coin. Data, future, long term. Wow. Now, good one. Good comment. Good comment. Appreciate that super chat. Data, future, long term. You know when all of that is worth looking at? When you actually have something in the present that is working. Once again, I'll give you the company I work for. The company I work for. The company I work for is at an advanced level now. Our present is fantastic at the moment. Our present is running seamlessly. That's why we are now preparing for the future by building whole heap of automation where we can automate. We're building whole heap of different processes for the future, which will bring further efficiencies. But you know how we are able to do this? Because our present is seamless. Our present right now, we can close our eyes and it works. You want to talk about data, you want to talk about future, you want to talk about long term. Your current situation is unstable. Imagine you just getting into a new relationship with a girl, or if you're a girl, you're getting into a new relationship with a boy, or maybe you like similar, sex, whatever it is, whatever floats your boat. Imagine you're getting into a new relationship, and you're thinking about the future when your current relationship is a bit rocky. You're not working on the current situation. Your current situation is making you is separating you further away from each other, but you're preparing for the future. How does that even make sense? Does that even make sense? You need to look after your present first. Build a solid foundation, create a solid base, and then only you're going to be able to create a good future. Roland, your emotions are working on you, Ms. The short list of names are great. You need to give people chances to prove what they can do. How are you sure if they bring in the so-called manager that you want that? Brother, once again, you're not thinking deep enough. I would have had zero issues with the shortlist if I knew my board members and my owners have a track record of success. Do you understand why the Liverpool fan base, they're not that upset with Arne Slot? Majority. There might be a minority that's upset with Arne Slot, but majority of them are quite happy with Arne Slot. You know why they're like that? Because they believe in their structure, because their structure has delivered success for them. You're asking me not to be emotional about this and just give them a chance. You're asking me to do this to people that have consistently made mistakes. I'm asking you, Roland, does that make sense? Does that make sense? You know someone has let you down multiple times before, but this time they'll get it right. Is that's your thought process? Come on, man. I'm sorry. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Shame on me. Haj, owners say it's a long-term process and to have patience. Well, how about they have patience now? If McKenna is your guy, then keep him and stand on the words that you have been selling to us if it gets tough. Of course. Of course. And I'm fully on board with that. I'm fully on board with that. You know why? Because the caliber of manager. How can I be upset with McKenna? McKenna's not my choice, and I'm pretty sure McKenna's not your choice. But the problem is, the choice is not on me. The board and the owners are making the choice, the short list, and the short list has these type of people. And if they eventually end up getting the job, I have to realign. I can't think the way I would with a top level manager. I'd have to think that McKenna will come in. Honestly, I would have to expect sixth again. I would really have to expect sixth. If he comes 7th, no problems. I'll have to accept that. And then you have to build on that. You have to. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, if he comes 6th or if he comes 7th, then he needs to be sacked again. He needs to be sacked again. I'm sorry. You cannot. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Not with McKenna. Someone who's got zero experience in the Premier League. You bring in someone like McKenna or Maresca, you have to give them minimum 3 years, regardless of how the results are. I'm sorry. You have to give them minimum 3 years. And you really have to stick to it. And yeah, you have to follow that Arsenal way. And after 3 years, if they still flop, then you can make a decision. But if it's a top-level manager who's got experience, you don't give them 3 years. You tell them, let's go. Let's go. Squad is there. You're a top manager. Let's go. Let's get on with it. But we have another problem. We have another problem, which is you can bring in a manager, but if you don't equip the manager with the right ingredients, well, then they can't cook. Then they can't cook. So, you know, we've got multiple issues, man. We've already bought. Just deep this for a second. Just deep this for a second. We've already bought players like Kendry Paez, players like Esteval Willian. And we don't even know who our manager is. We don't even know, like, what type of manager we're going to have in the future. But we already have the players ready. Do you know how crazy that is? Do you see recently John Terry in his Instagram, once Pochettino got sacked, John Terry said, don't sell a single player, don't buy a single player until the new manager is ready to go. Until the new manager is announced. Don't buy, don't sell, don't do anything until the new manager is ready. Why do people say that? People say that because it's important, man. You can't. A manager can come in and they may just say, you know what, whoever you bought doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. What if, honestly, and I'm going to go to Mac's tweet very, very soon. What if Kieran McKenna comes in? Honest talk. What if Kieran McKenna comes in and for one reason or another, let's just say for argument's sake, for one reason or another, for argument's sake, he doesn't get the best out of, I don't know, he doesn't get the best out of, let's just say, Nkunku. Let's say Kieran McKenna comes in and he doesn't get the best out of Nkunku. Then what? Let's just say, for argument's sake, Enzo Maresca comes in and he doesn't feel, for argument's sake, Madueke fits his plan. Then what? What you going to do then? Thing is, it can happen. It can happen. You're just going to force the manager. You're just going to force the manager to just get along with that player, utilize that player. And this is what I'm saying. Like, we bought all these players for the future. We don't even know what the present looks like. All right, let's have a look at what Max is saying. Message as of this morning, bit of a mess at the moment. A lot of people think different things internally. Some want this guy, some want that guy. Unclear with the actual fourth man on the list. No one seems to know who it is and what Chelsea are doing. McKenna wants to see what happens with United. What a joke. More convos expected this afternoon. Let's see if anything tangible happens with those. If so, news will filter out this evening. Iqbali's call ultimately. Yeah, ultimately, obviously, it's Iqbali's call. Iqbali makes all the calls. So no one really knows. No one really knows. It's a mess. But bottom line, it's a mess. Bottom line, it's a mess. Bottom line, it's a mess. Roland, you think the owners like losing money? This is business. No hard feelings. Your opinion that really matter. At the end of the day, the owners are going to hire who they think is the best fit. Trust me. Yeah. Yeah. Because I love your channel. However, Arteta finished 8th twice in his first 2 seasons at Arsenal. He had no Premier League managerial experience before the Arsenal job. Okay, good that you stated this. He finished 8th twice. So we have to accept that as well. So if we get McKenna, we need to be ready to finishing 8th twice before we can start seeing any level of improvement. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? Have you got the stomach to endure two more? Don't forget, 2 seasons have already gone under this new ownership. Do you have the stomach to endure another 2 more seasons of finishing 8th? My question is, why are we choosing this path? Do we need to wait another 2 more years? Why are we choosing this path? Aren't there any other paths to choose from? Is this the only path to choose from? It's crazy. They don't know what they want. One side is top 4 first season, the other side is young, inexperienced coach. They don't go together. You choose either or. They live in cuckoo land. Exactly. Exactly. You want a young, inexperienced manager with a young, inexperienced squad, and you're demanding top 4 finish. Are these owners mad? Are you actually mad? Haj, Mrs. being fair, in my opinion, we can't morally blame this new manager who is trying to make their name. Of course, they will jump at the opportunity. We need to hold the club to account, not the individual. Of course, 100%. 100%. Chelsea Empire, big up to you. 1 billion spent, and now we are going to wait 5 years for success. No chance. I demand top 4. No excuse. All on the owners. 100%. 100%. 100%. But honestly, Chelsea Empire, if they do get McKenna or Enzo Maresca, how can we sit here and say, get me top 4? Like, how can we do that? How can we actually do that? When they've not even managed in the Premier League. Like, as Gans would said, Arteta finished 8th and 8th. You have to suffer. You must suffer. You must. This is the most stupidest billionaires I've ever seen practicing as an attorney in the corporate environment. This has been the worst deluded rich guys I've seen. Oh, 100%. 100%. You know, the model that they have, the model that our owners have, so many pundits, so many experts in the industry have said this model at a big club has never worked. This model at a big club has never worked. This model works to a certain level at Borussia Dortmund, works at Ajax. But even then, look at where Ajax is. Once you keep losing players, big players, good players over and over again, your team is stripped off any quality. You're then going to be suffering again. Look at what happened to Brighton. You can't just keep stripping off all of these players, good quality players of them, and just expect them to keep landing gems after gems after gems. Eventually, you're not going to land those gems. Okay, after a while, you may land again. But the bottom line is that's how those clubs operate. That's how those clubs operate. My question is, why is our owner, like, why are the owners choosing to operate Chelsea that way? Why? Ganswood. I love Ganswood's comments, man, because they're wild. They're wild. They create a good discussion. They're wild. Miz, their model is based on is based and successfully works in basketball, American football, and baseball. Okay, well, it's not football, is it? It's not European football. They're basing an ideology that works in a different sport. It's like saying, I'm good in maths, therefore I should be good in biology. It's two different things. It's two different subjects. Just because I'm good in one thing, doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be good at the other thing as well. Whatever I'm applying there may not work here. Simple as. Simple as. PYS tweet. Let's have a look at PYS tweet, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob Steinberg exclusive. Manchester United have decided to sack Eric Ten Hag after the FA Cup final. Wow. Wow. How they actually put this news so open before the match. Man United is another funny club, man. Man United is another funny club. How they actually put this news before a final? Does this news need to be there just before a final? Anyway, that's another mad club. Look, I hope they lose because I really want Chelsea to make it to Europa League 100% guaranteed. I hope they lose. And yeah, there's your final match. Hope you lose. Hope you leave as a loser 100%. Because we need to make it into Europa League. Now, what does that mean for Kieran McKenna? He's probably waiting for Man United. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be Kieran McKenna. Maybe it's going to be Poch. Maybe it's going to be Thomas Tuchel. So there will be a fight for managers now. Now another job has opened up. All the managers that we're linked with, all of a sudden will be linked with Man United as well. Roberto De Zerbi will be linked with Man United. McKenna will be linked with Man United, and he already is linked with Man United. Maresca will be linked with Man United. Amorim probably might be linked with Man United. So we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to fight Man United now. And don't forget, Brighton is also looking for a manager. Brighton is looking for a manager. Man United is looking for a manager. We are looking for a manager. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it's not going to be McKenna anymore. I was thinking it's probably going to be McKenna, but maybe it's not going to be McKenna. Maybe it is going to be Maresca. Maybe it is going to be Enzo Maresca. We shall see. Kamal Nath, hi Miz. What do you think about Xavi? I think he's a very, very good manager. I would like him at Chelsea Football Club. Looks like a good manager who can play tiki-taka ball. I'm liking this idea. He can apparently speak good English as well. Yeah, he can definitely speak good English, and he will probably utilize that in the press conference against the owners. Yeah. Xavi's outspoken as well. He's very outspoken. So I don't know whether that's going to be a good blend with our owners. Nori V, thank you so much for the super chat. NFL and NBA is not the same as football. There is no relegation there. Actually, you are rewarded with better draft if you have a bad season. Complete opposite to football. It's madness. There you go. It's totally different. Totally different. Sporting fans will lynch Amorim if it's him, as he embarrassed himself with the club still fighting for title. Yeah. Yep. All the managers were linked to are good, except Thomas Frank. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Means to clarify my earlier comment, their model works for USA Sports, but it's not applicable to Chelsea FC. DHL, bring me De Zerbi, man. He knows the league, and some of our players already plays possession football and just needs to get a better at defense. Yeah, look, I agree. For me, it's De Zerbi. I just go and get him. But can they be in the same page? Can De Zerbi shut his mouth? Can De Zerbi not back chat? Top dog RLG, Miz, who's your number one choice? Would you say De Zerbi? If it was to me, from who, like the managers that are available, obviously, I would love Thomas Tuchel back. Like that would probably be the first choice. I would love to get Thomas Tuchel back, but that's not going to happen. So from the managers that are up for grabs, yeah, Roberto De Zerbi. De Zerbi definitely. Xavi as well. Xavi's a good shout. Yeah, that would be my choice. Chelsea Empire, big up to you, my man. Thank you so much for this super chat. Clear Lake purchased a company called Altrex for 4.4 billion, which is an AI technology that is used on sports and many other things. These owners are hell bent on making that work, and it's used on our club. Wow. I'm pretty certain down the track, they probably won't even want to have a manager. They'll just have like an AI robot running the show. Honestly, they'll just have an AI robot running the show. Eddie Howe is a young, experienced manager. Would Todd go with him? It's not even Todd's Chelsea. It's Iqbali's Chelsea. It's not even Todd's Chelsea. You would love Tuchel back. Thank God you're not a director, Miz. Well, yeah. Thank God. Thank God. Yeah. Thank God. I mean, how long will a coach like De Zerbi keep his mouth shut when you're getting stuffed with kids throughout the season and directives coming from the above to play them? Absolutely. He won't. He won't keep shut. He won't keep shut. It just won't happen. It just won't happen. Rumors are Todd selling his stake in Chelsea. Look, it makes sense. He's a nobody now. He's a non-entity. He actually has zero say at Chelsea Football Club. If I'm him, I'm selling as well. Unless I think that I'll just reap the profits. But if there is a scope where I can be bought out and I can get a hefty price for that, I'm going, because why am I getting undermined? Like I have zero say in any of the matters. I'm getting undermined. I wouldn't want to stick around. And he's only got a minority shareholding as well. Like he's only got like 10% apparently. It's not much. So if there is a way to just get out with some level of profit, then get out. Ms. What I don't get is, why is the ownership wanting this my way or the highway approach? Giving the team to an inexperienced coach will make a team successful and increase profitability. Giving the team to an experienced coach and make. I don't. This is what I've been saying. I don't understand why they've taken this path. I don't get it. There are other paths to be where you can still be successful with. I'm not really sure why they've just chosen this path only. As some people have said, maybe this works in NBA, maybe this works in the NFL, and maybe they're thinking that it's going to work in European football. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Because honestly, I haven't seen anything special from Esteval Willian like I did with Kendry. I wonder what is the hype about. Look, uh, I don't have too much to comment about this. I have not watched Esteval Willian. All I'm saying is, where does it stop? Where does it stop? You just want to keep buying kids, more and more kids. I've lost count. I'm pretty sure none of us can even write down all the kids that we've bought. Some of them, we are destroying their careers. So, yeah. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. We'll be back later on tonight, wrapping up the day's news. Smash up the like button before you go. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya. Bye.